All right, 7 o'clock. Here I am. Come on in the house. Have a seat. If I get this camera situated here a second. I thought I had more time than I did. As you can see. Hopefully this will work. Something tells me that's not it. I gotta wait on the delay. And as soon as I get this set up, I'll begin today's. See, that's not it. That's not it at all. I gotta see the top of my head. I know a lot of y'all tune in to see what kind of expressive hairdo I have for the episode. All right, let's see. No, I guess that's all right. That's pretty good, isn't it? All I gotta say is, woohoo! How am I supposed to follow last week's break on through with the Eat More Possum live performance, man? Hey, I gotta thank some people for making all that happen. First of all, it was recorded 2 years ago because we expected the Eat More Possum reissue to happen way sooner than it actually did. But you know, as it is in the world of independent records, that is rarely the case that it happens when it's supposed to. But you know what? It's out now, and we're grateful. We're happy. But I just want to thank Wes Cobb. He was there controlling the whole thing being filmed. And he was actually the one running it last Monday night. So thank you, Wes. Thank you, Hannah, his daughter, Hannah Combs, for doing such a great job on the filming. Great camera work. She actually knows how to film OJC on stage. You think, well, that ain't too hard. Well, no, it is actually. Some people don't know how to take a picture of us. Some people don't know how to film us. And luckily, we had that all taken care of back then. I want to thank James Tutterow for making that sound so good. I want to thank Sir Barry Hannibal. He was the executive producer of the entire thing. And of course, I want to thank Tom and Greg and Walt for the great jobs they did. And I'm sure I'm forgetting. Mondo was working there that day, so thank you, Mondo. But yeah, I was really happy with the way it come out. And judging from the great reviews and the number of views, I think a lot of other people really enjoyed it too. And that made old JC a happy man. Let me get a marker so I can start marking off the stuff that I talk about. All right, where are we at now? Okay, there we go. Well, speaking of Eat More Possum, man, it finally got here, and it just turned out fantastic, man. I'll show you. Well, now that it's here in my hands, I can show you everything that's in it. What is it? This is the purple. Man, look at that beautiful purple. Possum Queen Royal Purple. You may not be able to tell how purple it is in front of this camera. I don't know. It looks black on the screen, I think. But here, let me show you what else comes in it. this extensive insert, hard stock insert, not a piece of paper. There are tons of liner notes. You get liner notes from my brother Greg Clayton, from Malcolm Tent, Walt Wheat, Jeff Dahl, and Thomas O'Keefe, all on here. I'll show you something that is really, when we were putting it together, Mark Rainey and myself at TKO Records, we started going down the in memory list, which was much greater than we thought it would be. And that's not a good accomplishment. But look at that, man. These are all people that were involved with this record in some way, somehow, that are no longer with us. Wait for the... Yeah, there we go. That's a lot of folks, man. But, oh, and it comes with this beautiful poster. Look how big that thing is. Look real close, you see the texture. It's not actually textured, but we made it to look like it was printed on a burlap sack or something. That's all right in it. And that is an actual iron-on design from Roach Studios from the 70s. That Mark Rainey found 2 of them up in a antique shop up there around Portland town. He bought myself one and bought him one. And when he sent it to me, he sent it to me just because we thought it was funny. Is Eat More Possum, but I was like, man, we got to use that in the record somewhere, and we found the perfect place to use it. Now let me show you the other 2 variations. This one came out really good. Possum tail, pale possum tail pink. Look at that good stuff, man. It all comes with all the same stuff I just showed you. And last but not least, the rarest of the 3, of which there are only 100 pressed. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I'm just about out of it. So if you want this gray, you might want to order it tonight, because I don't think there's going to be enough left. This is asphalt. There's not going to be enough left to go through the weekend. And I'm not taking any of the grays on the road because there's just not enough to take. I'll have purple and pink in abundance. So, man, we're taking a bunch of copies of Possum with us on this little run, and we'll be taking it for the rest of the runs we do throughout the year. Which, by the way, did y'all notice we had some new show announcements? Let me see if I got that info in front of me. No, I don't. But throughout the next coming weeks, you're going to be hearing about our shows in Gastonia, Piedmont, South Carolina, but the ones coming up closest, like this week. Starting on Thursday night, we will be at the Star Bar in Atlanta, Georgia, with Sweet Meteor of Death opening the show. Now, I saw some reels of them here a little while ago, man. I thought they were pretty good. Man, we always have fun in Atlanta. That wasn't always the case, but it is now. So, come on, come on. If you got people around the Atlanta town that you think need to know about this, make sure they know. We're doing all we can. Let's get somebody out there on a Thursday night. And you know how we are, man. We ain't going to keep you out till 1 in the morning on a work night. So, come on out. We are always for the working class. Friday night, we'll be in Chattanooga, Tennessee at JJ's Bohemia with the Hearse Thieves, the Bible Belt Studs, and our old pal, Sweet Georgia Brown. That's at JJ's Bohemia in Chattanooga on the 20th, this coming Saturday. Friday. Thursday, Friday. Thursday is in Atlanta. Friday is in Chattanooga. Saturday is in Huntsville, Alabama at the Copper Top Dive and Dine. And special guests that night, the Chodes and the Casket Kids. Man, there you go. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All those towns are in pretty close proximity, so you can make all of them. Man, I can't get off. What are you talking about here? I can't get off on Friday ends. Yeah, you can. You ever heard of sick time? Well, I've got to say that I hope as many of you that are watching right now that are ANTiSEEN fans in those areas, I hope you all come out. I hope you bring people with you that will be their first time experiencing our One Trick Pony show. Oh, speaking of records, remember I put this up a little bit ago. There's only 33 copies of this. It's a vinyl overrun alternate cover. Look at how good that turned out. How good that looks. And I started out with 33. I now have 7 left. So if I were you, I would jump on this one quickly as well. It's all in the Big Cartel store. ANTiSEENstore.bigcartel.com. Man, I got more to plug here, but I'm going to tell y'all some stories. First, man, I'm going to tell you what happened to me Friday. Last Friday. No, it was the Friday before. All right, well, you know, I work in a warehouse. Working class, warehouse born and bred. And, hey, you guys know I'm 62 years old, man, and sometimes when nature calls, you gotta answer, and it's not gonna wait long for the answer. You know, you gotta. Well, our restroom is way down, deep into the warehouse, and sometimes when the call is made, I have to respond immediately. So we got a door that goes out to the back there that's off the main road. You know, you can't see it from the main road and stuff. And so I have to step out there and take care of that business. Well, Barry and I were supposed to get together that Friday and work on demos for some of the new material we're doing for our split album with Eat the Turnbuckle. And man, this stuff's turned out really good. We got to review 2 of the brand new ones this week on demos that Barry and I made. But I found some excuse I had to cancel. Malcolm wasn't coming because it was just going to be doing vocals. So it was just me and Barry, and I canceled out on him. And I know he's probably a little sore at me for doing it, but little did we know, about an hour and a half to 2 hours later, I'd be canceling anyway. Because as I was answering nature's call, unbeknownst to me, I had stood right smack dab in the middle of a brand new ant colony. Nah, it wasn't fire ants. I know fire ants. I've been bit by fire ants. And although this story was shocking, it was not as shocking as getting trapped into a big thing of fire ants. So I just got finished answering the call, See how dignified I described all that to you? This ain't like hanging out at a punk rock club when you come to break on through. Man, this is a classy place. You can tell by the decoration. But anyway, I go back in to sit down because it's about time to leave, man. So I'm gathering up all my stuff, man, and folding some things to put away in the desk, making sure the desk is good, coffee pot's off, forklift keys there. All right, let's go on to the house. Then I feel it. Man, I feel them crawling all over me. And I look down, and man, there they are. And I just start crushing them on my skin. Just crushing them, man. And I'm going to give you a little bit of sci-fi right here, because I checked this out to see if this was truth, and it is not true. But man, like the great philosopher Chopper Reed once said, never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn. So this is my yarn. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of sci-fi hot sauce on this, okay? And when we get done tonight and y'all are talking to your intellectual friend, that stupid hillbilly will break on through. You know what he thinks? He's so stupid. Man, public schools. Listen to me. I'm crushing it. And I'm starting to itch because, man, well, that came later. Let me not get too ahead of myself here. But I saw a big thing crawling up my leg, and I had wings, and I was like, is that a termite? I know what that was. And then I figured out that was one of the queens of the colony. And man, I killed her. Now I know some of y'all might, at this time, have already dropped to the floor and are in fetal position. Because how could a white, straight, Christian, conservative male / man be so harmful to the defenseless creatures? Well, if I had them on me right now, I'd show you. And man, and then they're in my pants or everything. I killed the queen. And it was almost like right then she sent out her sonic signal to the army to attack. And it felt like they all bit me at one time, man. It was like little needles. And I was just like, ah. And at this point, I called my wife on the phone, told her what was happening, because she's my nurse. And I was like, what should I do about it? Should I even try to drive home? I mean, because I'm guessing I got bit around 30 or 40 times, I guess. I don't know. But she goes, can you stop at the truck stop when in the showers? And I'm like, no, because my clothes are covered. And she's like, well, go to the bathroom at work and, see if you can shake your clothes out, get rid of them as many as you can. Well, man, my goal at that point was just to get home. Just to get home. And like I tell you, they've bitten me all over. I'm scratching. And man, those scratches, the places where they bit me, they all opened up. Blood's running everywhere. And, I'm filthy from work Friday. And, got grease all over me. Yeah, Phase 4. That's a movie I was trying to think about. Phase 4, I remember that. But anyway, all I want to do is get home. And man, I started to feel my throat feeling like it was closing a little bit. And I was like, I was like, what am I going to do? I was just like, well, I'm going to give it the old preschool try and drive on to the house. So I was like, if my vision starts to go white, then I will pull over, call someone, and hope for the best. And of course, we'll be doing a lot of praying at that point too. But man, I finally got home, and man, I had one of my Paul Bearer's Press zombie "We Are Going to Eat You" shirts on. I have about two or three. But this was one of my favorite one. It had the shark thing on the back. I had a pair of my favorite black sweatpants, you know, that had holes all in them. You know, and man, I called to the house. Katie, are you there? That's my daughter, Katie. Yeah, I said, well, listen, can you and Coleman go do something for a little bit? I said, because as soon as I get to the house, I'm getting to the door, and I'm stripping bare naked. And I didn't want to be there, or I didn't want, you know, people filming it and doing like a live broadcast with charging a lot of money for it, and me not knowing about me not getting any money for it. But, so they were gone. When I got home, boots came off, socks came off, knee brace came off, and the rest of it, man, I stripped down, threw it outside, went straight into the shower, and stood in that water as hot as I could possibly stand it for about 20 minutes. And until all the crawling felt like it had stopped. But of course, hours later, I still feel it, even though I know it's not happening. But yeah, there you go, man. That close to either making last week's Break On Through have to be a Jeff Clayton tribute, or turning into some sort of monstrous Ant-Man creature at midnight or something. But neither one of those happened, and I'm here with you right now, breaking on through with you. But oh yeah, man, we talking ant story. Okay, I got the ant story out of the way. But yeah, we're working on that new stuff. You saw Malcolm's comment. I do have a few more plugs, and I also want to thank all of you for sending me more topics to discuss. I wanted to thank everyone for the Eat More Possum debut for the reissue from last week, but I should have just waited until next week to actually see. But I'll probably do one next Monday. But I got a lot of good ideas, and I want y'all to please keep them coming in, okay? And Clinton Zilla, you and I talked, and you were going to make me a big list of stuff that you wanted to know about, and well, I was ready to do it. Oh yeah. But all right, I got more plugs here. All y'all know the film The Hills Have Eyes, the one from 1976 or 77. Terrible. Well, it stars my good friend Janice Blythe and a pop culture phenomenon, Michael Berryman. Well, all you folks down around San Antonio are in luck, because they are going to appear together at the Mockingbird Lane Horror and Comic Con, March 27th, 28th, and 29th at the Hilton Garden Inn in old San Antonio. That's right, San Antonio, Texas. Man, y'all need to go. You know, it's just, and I don't like saying stuff like this, but man, when it comes to anyone, not just celebrities that you've known all your life or bands that you've been seeing since you were kids, don't always think the chance to see or meet those people is always going to be there. You get what I'm saying to you? Man, you know how great it would be to have something signed by Janice and Michael, Ruby and Pluto, together. The soundtrack album from The Hills Have Eyes. And man, word has it, Janice is going to have some copies of the EP Royalty LP signed by both her and myself available there. There's lots of other stuff. You know, the photo, all of her photos. She's going to have stickers and buttons, man. And listen, you got to go by and meet her. She is a delightful lady. You're going to have a good time. And Sweet as she can be. I've never had the honor of meeting Mr. Berryman in person, but of all accounts of people I know that have met him say the same about him, about being a really nice person. So that's March 27th, 28th, 29th. Mockingbird Lane at the Hilton Garden Inn in Old San Antonio. But, man, I got to tell y'all something that's going to be happening a week later from that. Man, I don't know how to tell you how important this is, but you know what? I won't have to tell you, because as soon as I start talking about it, you're going to know how important it is. And there are not many bands who can claim this. But our very own Walt Wheat will be playing a show that will be the 35th anniversary of his song and dance troupe that everyone down around there have been loving for 35 years. I'm talking about none other than the Pine Belt Psychos themselves. Before I Hang. Before I Hang. 35 years of doing what they do like no others can do. And man, they're going to be throwing a knockdown, drag-out party in the street like you ain't never, ever, even ever. I can tell you no one in Hattiesburg's ever seen it. But y'all that, man, you got time now. You can plan a road trip. You can buy a plane ticket. You can be, because, hey, I'm going to tell you something. He's like, well, Jeff Clayton, you sitting there telling us what we can do. You got to tell me something. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to be there. I am going to be at the Before I Hang 35-year anniversary show. I'm going to be there live and in person, shaking hands, kissing babies. Now I'm going to tell you what the date is. It's April 4th. Saturday, April 4th, at the Fat Cat in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And man, as if it being Before I Hang's 35-year anniversary show is not enough, let me tell you about the undercard. The Unnaturals from New Orleans. I have heard nothing but good things about this from people whose opinions about such things I trust. They're like, man, they're good. They said, and I've heard plenty of people say, ANTiSEEN needs to do a run with the Unnaturals. Well, you know I'm not opposed to that. Also on the undercard, one of my favorite bands to have open for us. I enjoy them. Jethro Skull. You thought I was going to say Tull. Jethro Tull should be opening for Before I Hang 35-year anniversary, but it's going to be Jethro Skull. And a band that I'm not even sure how to pronounce their name. I've never heard them, but I know that if Walt Wheat had anything to do with them appearing on the bill, it's going to be top-notch, top-shelf, knockdown, drag-out rock and roll. They're called Stumbler, I think. It's spelled STMBLR. I don't know about newfangled ways to spell words. But man, like by the time I was even at that band trying to figure out how the proper way to say it, you should have already been halfway into your plan making. You got the calendar out, got the wife over by the table. Now look here, we're going to leave this night. And we'll stay, halfway, a little over halfway to Hattiesburg, and then we'll pull into Hattiesburg right there at showtime. That's where you should have been already. And if you are, you don't have to tell me here. In other words, you don't have to tell me something, but let the boys know that you're coming into Hattiesburg town to celebrate. 35 years, man, that's no easy feat. And if you've been looking at the Walt Wheat post that he's been making on the Before I Hang page, or I think it's on the Before I Hang page, about his true and false questions. Man, I have a nice stack of stories like that myself, but man, the fact that they lasted 35 years with that kind of stuff going on, that is a true miracle in of itself. So, man, I hope to see y'all there. Man, I want to see y'all on the 19th in Atlanta, the 20th in Chattanooga, the 21st in Huntsville, Alabama. ANTiSEEN is going to be playing Eat More Possum in its entirety, but it's going to be done by the Ultra lineup. He's like, well, damn, I don't need to go see. I saw you play with on the live broadcast. No, it's going to be different. It's the Ultra lineup. Malcolm Tent, Sir Barry Hannibal, Walt Wheat, and little old JC. We'll be doing it live, and that is no job. And I want to see you there. And we're going to have all the stuff that you ask us to bring. We got, what we got? We got some 7 inches. We got tons of LPs. We got a brand new t-shirt. I was going to show it here tonight, but I'm not going to show it. You just got to come out to the show and see it. And I know you're going to want to buy it, so come on out. And we're bringing some hats, CDs. Man, we got it all. It's true ANTiSEEN Stop and Shop. I know the most part of this whole thing has sounded like one big long infomercial, and I apologize, but I really needed to thank the folks for all the work that went into the Eat More Possum broadcast. It's not just me hitting a button and it all happened. Now y'all have been watching me on Break On Through long enough to know that me pushing buttons does not ever guarantee anything, except maybe interesting television or interesting audio. But yeah, thanks to all the people that had something to do with it, man. And I can't wait to play these songs again with the Ultra lineup. And man, come on out. We want to see you. We want to talk to you. We want to hang out with you a little bit. And then by the next time I come on and Break On Through, those shows will be over. I will give the list of the other Eat More Possum shows that are coming up all the way into the summer. And there's even talk of us going up around Philadelphia town. So keep your ears to the ground on that one. But I would like to take this time to extend a prayer call to our good friend Abdullah the Butcher, who is still facing medical challenges. And I just ask anything you can send his way. I'm not talking about monetary. There is a GoFundMe for that, and if you would care to participate in that, I'm sure Ab and Queen Malika would appreciate it as much as all of us. But I'm really just asking you to send some prayers to him, man. It was a great honor for this band to be one of the musical acts performing his 85th birthday. 85 years old. Can you dig that? So please do what you can, okay? And man, I guess I'm going to see y'all next Monday. I told you I started getting some stuff to talk about, and y'all keep sending me those subjects. Clinton, I want them questions now. You hear me? And man, I'm gonna have plenty to talk about, and so I'll see y'all next week. That's the plan anyway. You know how plans change, especially when old JC is at the helm. But listen, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with me a little bit. You know what I'm going to say? I love you. God loves you, and I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your week. I hope you have an even better weekend, and I hope part of that great weekend y'all have is spending it with us in Atlanta, Chattanooga, and Huntsville, Alabama. All right? Listen, you all take care, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.